Real is what you feel, feelings aren't real. Put your money down, place your back, spin the wheel. Real is what you feel, feelings aren't real. Put your money down, place your back, spin the wheel. Real is what you feel, feelings aren't real. Put your money down, place your back, spin the wheel. Real is what you feel, feelings aren't real. Put your money down, place your back, spin the wheel.
I am super happy with how things are healing up. I got a little bit of bruising going on my right side, but that's slowly getting better. Here's what my incisions are looking like. They're all closed up and healed. Here's where the drains were.
Not realness.
And looking really good. You can still see where the tubes or the draining tubes came out a little bit, but not bad. Like 12 weeks on teeth and 7 months post-op. My lines are starting to really fade. My thickest scarring is over here, but it's still not bad at all.
This is my chest 1 year post-op. Looks really good. I'm so happy with it, the way things have healed up. I'm getting close so you can see what the scars look like, what's left of them. So, like, the sizing of my nipple and areolas, sometimes I'm like, I don't know, they're a little big, and I feel like maybe my nipples poke out a little bit in my shirts, but I only feel that way sometimes. I mean, there is always the opportunity that I could have a revision on the nipples and reduce the size of them if I wanted to, but I'm just not sure that that's something that I actually really need or want. I think some people like shower before they film their videos and don't look like trash, but not this kid. Alright, so I also wanted to talk more, I guess, about the whole thing. You guys sent me some good questions that I did want to talk about. Alright, so basically the way that I went about getting top surgery, at the time I didn't realize how privileged I was. I was worried that going into the process that it would be difficult, not identifying as male, not following like a typical FDM trans narrative. I wasn't on testosterone when I had my surgery. I wasn't sure if I would have to be like kind of lying to therapists or doctors in order to get referred for surgery, but Dr. Agarwal is really awesome, and she operates under informed consent, meaning that if you're over the age of 18 and you talk with the doctor, just with the surgeon, and together you guys both feel like this is like the right decision, then you just kind of sign a form saying you acknowledge the risks. But I didn't have to be referred by a doctor. I didn't have to be referred by my therapist. I didn't have to like prove anything or jump through any of the hoops that you usually find you have to do in getting surgery, which was so good. Was so lucky. So the total cost of my surgery was $5,855. That included, there was a $500 deposit to like book or schedule the surgery. I know that Dr. Agarwal's office does work with insurances, but not mine, so I paid out of pocket for that. So I don't know if there would be more gatekeeping or like hoops to have to jump through if you were using insurance, because I had a really rough recovery process. I don't really remember a whole lot about that first day, actually. Like, I just got back home and just kind of sacked out. The next day, the day after surgery, that was like the only complication I had. I actually like passed out and kind of had a small seizure. It was in the morning. I had just woken up. I hadn't eaten anything yet, and I was getting my my tubes emptied, my drain bulb things. We were emptying those, and it just like, I had just woken up. I didn't eat. I don't know. I think it was like a bad combination of those things, and I was sitting up in a chair and I passed out. My mom called the doctor's office, was like way freaked out over that, and they were like, yeah, that can happen with the pressure change of the drains. So I guess my advice would be, when you're changing your drains, just make sure you're like laying down, or like that you've eaten some food or water first, I guess. But I think one of the reasons why my scars are so thin is like, I didn't do anything for a few weeks. Like the first week I just couldn't do anything, like just couldn't lift my arms up and stuff. I just had no mobility. And then the second week I like wanted to be doing more, and my partner was like, no, you have to let me do things for you. Don't stretch, don't reach. And so I was just really good about trying not to like, even just little things, like glasses of water and stuff, like just not try and reach your arms up this high. I held a pillow a lot just to like kind of occupy my body, my hands, to keep me from reaching or pulling or pushing, like trying to get out of a chair like that. Like I just didn't do any of that. I tried so hard to just like baby everything and not stretch anything. I have bio oil. That's primarily what I've been using, and just like massaging it in the morning sometimes, but like I don't do that nearly as often as you probably should. I think another reason why my scars have healed so well is I haven't exposed them to sunlight at all yet. I got surgery in May, and so obviously I was like not healed enough really to be out and active in the summer. So I definitely, this is the first summer, the first time that like my chest is going to be getting real sunlight, so staying out of the sun is good. I think one of the best pieces of advice I got for healing was up your protein. Your body heals so much quicker if you have like high protein. So I was drinking a lot of like extra protein drinks and shakes like that you just buy pre-made at the store. I was out. I didn't go back to work for almost 2 weeks. I have a desk job that's very low-key, and I knew that even after I went back to work that first week I could get away with like not lifting or reaching or doing anything, and just being able to just like sit at my desk and type. I definitely still felt like weak and tired on the second week. I know people that have like been out and about and like walking around the neighborhood or going grocery shopping and stuff, and I like couldn't do that. It took me a while, and I mean that's, every surgery affects every person differently. Everybody's body's different. Overall, I'm just feel so fortunate to be a year post-op. I feel so fortunate about the way my chest looks. I love my chest. I like the way my chest looks in a shirt and out of a shirt. When I first saw my chest, after a week is when I finally got, the big bandage and wraps removed. I got to see my chest for the first time and, actually make sure my nipples were there, because that's always a fear. What are my nipples gonna look like? Are they gonna be even? What if they're, one's bigger than the other? What are they gonna look like? So you, stress about that for a week, and then you finally get to see your chest and everything's fine. I had a really hard time when I first saw my chest. I was prepared for it to look, bad, to look bruised and scabby and ouchy, but I kind of wasn't prepared for, the psychological impact of that, to, see my skin, it was very obvious that my skin had been, cut open, removed, stapled, and stitched back together, and that was really hard for me mentally to deal with. When I had a shirt on, it was oh my god, my chest is flat, this is beautiful, I love this. When I had my shirt off and I had to look at, this mangled chest, I felt really weird about it, and I didn't really know how to talk about it at the time, because I'd just been given this really incredible gift of this new chest, and it's how do you can't, I felt like I couldn't talk about that because I didn't want to seem ungrateful, or I didn't want it to seem this was maybe not the right decision or something, because it was the right decision, and I feel worlds apart from that feeling now, but the first week was just so hard to see how ouchy I looked. I looked like I had been sewn back together and pieced back together, and that felt really kind of triggering to just kind of the guilt I had still about just not being able to be happy with my body the way it was before. But that went away, and I can talk about it now, and I want to say that is a normal feeling, and so if you do see your chest for the first time and you feel weird about it, that's okay. Bodies are complicated, and surgery's scary and hard. You are physically removing matter that is your own DNA in your own body and belongs to you, and getting rid of it, and that's kind of a hard thing to prepare for mentally. So feel free to ask me more questions. This was not a very well put together video, I'm sorry, I'm sure I forgot things, but I hope you enjoyed seeing some pics and photos, and yeah, let me know if you have further questions and stuff. I'm always available to chat about things, so alright, hope you guys have a good weekend.